So here's, now look at this. What you'll see here are triangles, and those triangles are actually pink. Again, it's important to understand this. Right now, we're looking at Nazi Germany, and we're looking at people with pink stars being treated the same way that Jewish people were treated. Um, and it's horrific. It's horrific that these people, the things that they were made to do to prove that they weren't gay, were pretty horrific as well. So all of this is true. All of this is history, and we should feel some compassion, in my opinion, for what human beings experience. But this is different. This is Stonewall Today. Stonewall Today has the Stonewall Book Award, which is LGBTQ books for kids. Okay, you can say, well, kids need to have their lives reflected. Fine. But when you do the Stonewall thing, you start to tell these kids that what they experience today, if that's, not a massive celebration, is the same thing that they experienced back then. And it's not. Nobody is walking into a classroom, lining up kids, and putting them on trains. Nobody is bullying gay kids in school simply because they're gay. You know why? Because they're told very, very clearly that the agenda in our schools is to support LGBTQIA+, even at the expense of themselves. They are told that LGBTQIA+ kids must be kept safe, that they are the most vulnerable kids. And then you wonder how some kid who doesn't feel very seen in school, some kid who isn't important, maybe isn't that attractive, whatever. You wonder how kids make the choices that they make. This is wrong. This Stonewall thing, this pretending that what kids experience today in the average classroom is the same as Nazi Germany, is disgusting. So let's go back again to this guy. Smash gay oppression. They mean it. It is very violent rhetoric. And this is subtle. This is me 15 minutes before jumping on, looking and finding something. But there's so much more about smash, destroy, make them think. Let's see, what is one that Hassan Piker has said? Hassan Piker and also the other guy, they're like, make conservatives afraid to go out in public. It's very, very violent rhetoric that's using our kids to make it. And then this happens to our kids over and over again. The people who are causing extreme violence, and even making this is a little bit scary. I mean, I'm not super scared because not a lot of people will see this, but just talking about it can put you at risk. I remember in my own group, in my own small town, saying, I just think that if people are going to be taught about transitioning, they should be taught about the detransitioners. And a teacher jumped on and said, that's really causing kind of a genocide for you to even say that. That erases their experience as trans kids. But it doesn't. Because unfortunately, a lot of trans kids have this secondary experience. This image here is of multiple young men who have decided that they're trans. And not only are they trans, but they're resentful. They're resentful in their experience because they've been taught to be. So let's take a look at several images. This is Teaching While Queer, Queering Education Conference. A couple of years ago, a young woman who I knew quite well, very nice young lady, asked me to please keep her in my thoughts and prayers as she went to public school to become a or she went to college to become a teacher. Specifically, she went to university. She went to Utah Valley University. Yes, that place where Charlie was killed. Within 2 years, this young, sweet, kind girl became an activist. She supports these things. Now, during that time, within the first year, she sent me multiple papers saying, I can't believe I have to go through this. And it was queering the preschool classroom. That's what the kids were going that's what she was being taught. And it's now what she fully believes as a certified teacher in our district. So there's just one. Let me keep going with all my little pictures here. We oftentimes think that queering, that sexual education is only happening to older kids. Here's a picture of older kids. It's just a stock photo. A lot of times it's not happening with the older ones because they've already made up their decisions. Um, I interviewed a woman yesterday who is running for school board, and she said that kids should never be taught something that makes them feel uncomfortable. Well, I promise you that this agenda makes them feel just as uncomfortable